Good morning. I'm Jim Graven, Mayor of Olmsted Falls. This is Police Chief Rogers. Last night at approximately 7:45 p.m., the Olmsted Falls Police Department responded to Sprague Road and Fernwood Drive. The initial call was for a possible assault. Officers responded, and they did speak to a witness who informed our officers that there may be a deceased victim in a condominium on Lake of the Falls Boulevard. Police did respond to that condominium. There they found a 26-year-old male who was found deceased from an apparent gunshot wound. The identity of the victim is being withheld until the family can be notified. We did receive accurate and reliable information that the suspect immediately fled the city in a white Nissan. And because he immediately fled the city, the police believed that our residents were not in any harm's way within the immediate area. Police from Olmsted Township, the Lorain County Sheriff's Department also responded and helped the Olmsted Falls Police Department. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office are also investigating at this time. The suspect was not a resident of Olmsted Falls. He was visiting a friend who had just moved our city about a month ago. Thank you, and we will entertain questions.
Yes, ma'am. At the condominium on Lake of the Falls. The torso.
One shot?
There were multiple gunshots. Ma'am?
Can you just talk about what was going on at that apartment that led up to this?
I cannot discuss what was going on in the apartment that led up to the actual incident. That's part of the ongoing investigation.
Do you believe that the suspect knows the victim?
Yes, the suspect did know the victim.
Has he been captured?
No.
Can you talk about what you and maybe other law enforcement agencies are doing to track him down?
There are multiple law enforcement agencies working collaboratively with us. At this time, we really don't want to discuss what steps are being taken to apprehend the suspect. The last thing I would want to do is compromise the attempts to apprehend him.
Based on the 911 calls, it sounds like something happened like at a convenience store around there. Can you say
Right,
how that might be related?
Right, I can address that. So the initial 911 call came to Lorain County Sheriff's Department. The reason for that is that one of the witnesses left the scene and went to the convenient on Sprague Road that's actually across the street from our jurisdiction in Lorain County. So that initial call went to Lorain County Sheriff's Department. Lorain County Sheriff's Department believed when they were told that this incident occurred across the street that was Olmsted Township. So they transferred the call, the 911 call, from Lorain County Sheriff's Department to CCOMS, which is the dispatch center for Olmsted Township. There was never a 911 call placed to the Olmsted Falls Police Department. One of our officers who was on duty at the time was scanning, doing the right thing, and heard this radio traffic of Olmsted Township officers being dispatched to the area of the convenient, the Sprague Road, Fernwood area. When she heard that this incident allegedly occurred across the street from the convenient, she pretty much knew, hey, this is ours, and she advised our dispatch that she was responding to the area as well.
So a witness left the scene and then placed that call?
That's correct.
Do you know how many witnesses might have been there for that?
There were multiple witnesses involved in this incident.
And I'm sorry, you said the alleged shooter knows the victim, you said, correct?
They were known to each other.
Okay.
There's just one suspect you're looking for?
Right now, I wouldn't feel comfortable commenting on how many suspects, who's involved, who's not involved, things of that nature. That is part of the ongoing investigation. I do not want to compromise that.
What can the public do to help them or assist in any way?
Well, the public in Olmsted Falls, if they see something, hear something, we always want them to contact us. But at this point in the investigation, we're really relying on our law enforcement partners to assist us in apprehending this suspect.
Right. We did receive accurate information that the suspect immediately fled the city, so there was no danger to our citizens.
Do you believe it's drug-related?
There's nothing to indicate at this time that it was drug-related. Any other questions?
When was the last homicide in Olmsted Falls?
That's an interesting question. We've discussed that quite a bit. Nobody in Olmsted Falls can remember a homicide going back. I wouldn't want to give you an exact number of years, but it's been more than 30, if ever.
Wow. So, can you just talk about the ability of your officers to, obviously they're trained and so they know what to do when a call like this comes in, but still they don't go on calls like this all the time, so just being able to snap into action.
Yeah. One of our detectives has over 20 years' experience, and I'll let the chief address
Right.
that.
So the officers working last night did an outstanding job. They secured the scene. When we get a call of this nature, the most important thing to do is secure the scene, render any medical aid, and then call in the cavalry, right? And the officers on scene handled that perfectly. The scene was secured, and the sergeant on duty made the necessary calls to who needed to come in and start investigating this. I was called, the Detective Bureau was called. Very quickly, we contacted Ohio BCI and the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office. Both of those agencies are still investigating this with us. So to your question, the officers are trained in these kind of things. They did a great job last night, and we were provided assistance from multiple agencies. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea of maybe where the suspect may have fled to?
I wouldn't feel comfortable discussing that at this time. Again, as part of the ongoing investigation, and I want to ensure that we do not compromise the stage of the investigation that we're at, which is apprehension.
So if there were multiple witnesses, were any of them able to tell you guys who this suspect is? So, I mean, not to say tell us, but you kind of know who you're looking for at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is there a history of calls from that condominium?
There is not. As the mayor stated, the people who live in that condominium just moved there within the last month.
And did the victim live there? Was that his residence?
We're still determining whether or not he was actually living there or was a guest at the time. We're still working that out.
One resident at the condo told us that she's thinking about selling her condo because of what happened.
Right.
Your thoughts on that?
We believe this was an isolated incident.
Right. I mean, that's unfortunate, and I would hope that, that this wouldn't cause people to have that. That's a normal, I suppose, reaction the next morning when you hear about something like this. This isn't something that normally occurs in Olmsted Falls.
Right.
And when I can understand where some residents of that condo community would feel uneasy. I can tell you that this very violent crime that occurred has nothing to do with the community. It has to do with what occurred inside that condo between those people, if you follow.
And we review the police reports every morning, and I can assure our residents that this is a very safe town, and that neighborhood is a very safe neighborhood.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the complex called?
Lake of the Falls condominiums.
Were you guys able to recover any weapons at the scene?
All I will tell you is we did recover over 40 pieces of evidence.
Did it happen on the first floor, upstairs? I don't know.
This particular condominium, that condominium complex has both 1-level and 2-level condominiums. This was a 2-level condominium, and the incident occurred on the first floor.
You're not identifying the victim at this time?
No.
Not until we can notify family, out of respect. Anything else? Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for your
everyone.
time today.